Welcome back to the channel. We are finally going to finish off the Kane Chronicles with Kane Chronicles Book 3, Serpents Shadow. We have finally made it to the final book in the Kane Chronicles series. I know I have had a lot of fun doing these book reviews for you guys, and I hope you guys have had a lot of fun watching them. If you guys have enjoyed the video so far, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Also, comment with any books you want me to review in the future. Before we get started, let's hit the intro. So, same format as always: summary, cons, pros, final thought, and ranking. So, as the final battle with Apophis finally approaches, Carter and Sadie need to learn this shadow magic. And they can only learn that from this ghost, Setna, who is really dangerous. So, Carter, Sadie, and Zia and Walt are all forced to go to the underworld to bargain for Setna's life. Setna sends them on this really big wild goose chase to find information about the shadow execration. Zia, Carter, and Setna go to the Temple of the Apis Bull to try and recover Setna's version of the Book of Overcoming Apophis. Walt and Sadie are sent to the Temple of Need to try and recover Bess's shadow. After Carter, Zia, and Setna retrieve the scroll, they are sent to the Land of Demons to try and find Apophis' shadow. So, Sadie and Walt are actually able to restore Bess with the shadow they find at the temple. After all that happens, everyone rushes to the Pyramids of Giza for the final battle. When they get there, they are able to finally fight off Kwai and Jacoby's forces, actually in turning some of them back to their side. So, just before the battle, Carter is officially made Pharaoh. After that, the entire battle turns into all the Egyptian gods and all the magicians against Apophis himself. So, Carter and Sadie are actually able to defeat Apophis by destroying its shadow. But what I really like how Rick Riordan does this is, as Apophis is destroyed, the gods are forced to fade away from the world. Then the book ultimately ends with everyone just kind of celebrating, recovering, but we also get hints from Carter and Sadie's mom to Sadie about future threats that aren't completely spelled out. So, my first real con with the book, again, is the Sadie Walt and Nuva's love triangle, just like the last book. This, again, is largely on here because of a lot of the stuff I said in the last video. I really don't like this love triangle. He focuses way too much of Sadie's plot on it. I don't think it was as bad as in Throne of Fire, because at least in Throne of Fire, she had that one part where she was in London getting chased by Net, Bet, and Bobby, and she wasn't focused on the love triangle. Whereas with this book, the one mission she does have, one, she's paired with Walt, and two, Walt's almost out of time, so she's constantly worried about him overextending himself with his magic, and it's constantly just drives me nuts. The first pro, just like in Throne of Fire, is the opening battle. This first battle really helps get across the tone that the world is at war and everyone is against the Kanes, and anyone who helps the Kanes is not safe. So, the second reason this is on here is how Rick Riordan deals with the aftermath of this battle and the casualties that come with it. We largely get this from Carter, and I really like it because we get to see and really understand his fear and doubt that he is not the leader everyone needs him to be. Second pro I really love about this book is the connections to the wider Riordan verse. The main connective tissue comes from that part of the story when they're at that Brooklyn Academy's dance, and we get to see Drew and Lacey, the daughters of Aphrodite, who we met earlier in The Lost Hero. The one thing I wish he really had been more clear about is when in the timeline this takes place. So the third pro actually is the ending, because he writes it so open-ended that if he really wanted to, he could feasibly go back to the Kane Chronicles and continue the series. And yes, I know about Son of Sobek, and I will eventually get to that. So, final thoughts on the book here. Awesome closure to a really awesome trilogy with a really good possibility of a continuation. So, I'm going to give this book an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell so you can get notified when I upload my next book review. We will be doing Beyonders: A World Without Heroes by Brandon Mull. Also, if you guys have any book recommendations, drop them down in the comments. Also, follow me on social media if you want to see more of my process and get any new information about the videos that I'm working on.